Hello my freaks and weirdos, welcome back to the channel. I'm Joanna. It's been a hot minute since I posted anything. The reason for that is I've been very busy with schoolwork. I have been not doing much creative and worth making a video of recently, and my phone stand broke. So I can't do any of like my overhead filming because I don't have anything to hold my camera. Meaning the filming of this video is gonna be a little awkward because I have to have everything from this view instead of my overhead. Yeah, this is why I haven't been filming. Anyway, on to the DIY. I have a lot of socks whose heel has just completely worn away. It's like an eye hole. So instead of, just tossing them and having them go into the landfill, I'm gonna be making them into gloves. I have one done. This is what I was figuring out last night, and this is what I'm gonna be doing with the rest of them. Damn, I really wore through some of these socks, like, this is why they're in the DIY pile.
The first thing you want to do is pull that sock over your hand and spread out your fingers as evenly as possible, like so. Then take any marker and mark the tips of your fingers. Do not mark your thumb, we'll come back to that later. Take off the sock so you don't hurt yourself and cut holes where you marked your fingers. Those will be the holes for your fingers to slide through. When you're done, pull the sock back on. Now you can cut a hole for your thumb. Make sure you mark the base of your thumb, not the tip of your thumb. And boom, glove. Now to deal with the heel.
Okay, this is the tricky part, is getting rid of this heel. Now, I have not found a really clean way to do that, because like, on the one that I completed, you're gonna end up with this really awkward seam, because, you know, they're socks, they're not made for hands, they're made for feet. Feet have a heel, so you're gonna have this big bunch of fabric on the wrist that just is not easy to clean. Voice crack there, oh my god, that is not easy to like cleanly flatten out, so you are gonna end up with a really awkward seam. I haven't figured out a way around that. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could just cut the entire wrist off, like right above the heel, like about here, just to avoid that situation altogether. The problem with that though is, one, your glove is going to be like a lot shorter. It's going to cut off like right at the base of the hand instead of come down a bit, and you're going to miss the elastic, and I like the elastic because it helps hold the glove in place. So just an option, entirely up to you, but this is what I did. So there's these two seams, one here and one on the other end right here. I'm just going to cut those seams and then cross the heel. The seam doesn't go all the way around the heel, but I'm going to pretend that it does. So I'm going to cut that seam. This is what you should have. Then put the glove back on, just so you can line everything up correctly. You're gonna have like this really awkward little pocket situation, so take the heel, push it under that hole you just cut open, have the flap lay as flat as possible, and then pin it into place. Once you have done that, you should have something like this. Very simple, not too fancy. Then you're just going to sew this new seam right around here to keep this flap down. I would record me sewing down this flap, but as I said before, I can't have my overhead view because my stand broke, so I'm just gonna skip that and then show you what it looks like when it's done. Last thing you're gonna need to do is on the inside of this pocket seam, you're gonna have, you know, the extra fabric of the heel. Just cut that off. Access is cut off. That. I am jumbling all of my words this morning. Maybe I shouldn't do videos when I first roll out of bed. Anyway. This is the final. Again, weird seam. If you want to like get some type of patch and like cover it, I think that would be really cool. Also, if you have patterned socks, you could definitely try to like work the seam into the pattern to try to hide it. Just throwing out ideas here, or you know, you can just leave it and call it a day. That's what I'm doing. Oh, like of course you don't have to stop here. Like if you want to make these more alternative, you can like put holes in them. You could layer, I don't know, say like a fishnet over this. You can put patches on it, pins on it. You could paint it. There I am shedding. So yeah, you don't have to stop with this. This is where I'm stopping because I'm lazy and I honestly don't know what else I would do with them at the moment. But yeah, be creative, have fun with them. This is just like the base of what you could do. If you don't want fingers here, then what you could do is just cut off the toes like on this top seam here, just make sure you have room for your thumb hole, or the socks are not gonna stay up. Gloves, or the gloves are not gonna stay up. Also, depending on the fabric of the socks, you shouldn't need to hem or seal or anything the holes that you made, because sock material doesn't usually fray. If you're using tights, that you are gonna have to seal with like nail polish, because that will fray, but like cotton, polyester, those kind of fabrics, they don't really fray too much, so you should be good with just a raw edge. One final note that I literally just realized now. In the very beginning, when you put your sock on your hand like this to dot your fingers, make sure you're not putting the sock on the same hand every time, because then it's only going to be fitted for, say, your right hand and not your left hand. That's what I just did. Both of these socks are fitted for my right hand, not my left hand. Alternate hands, so you know, all of the good side of the socks are not only going to be working for one hand. That was a very jumbled sentence that made very little sense, but hopefully you got my point. Alright, so that is everything for this very little mini tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be posting more eventually once I get my new iPhone stand, so I can, you know, angles better. And with that, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye!